So with regards to the, I mean, the effects that you make and you've got a number of effects. I mean, I've written them down here. You've got the Voodoo 67, the Blue Delay, the V8 47AY. You've got a Crybaby, Panthelope Fuzz. I mean, if you could maybe talk us through those individual ones that you've got, and if you've got any there that you can show us, then please.
Short.
Sorry.
Voodoo 67, right?
Yep.
That's a fuzz phase based effect. I need the dot for correct all the effect that are real fuzz phase on stage in studio, especially old stuff. I played with old stuff. I owned the new mini versions. I had problem. As I said to you, when I'm putting the volume of my guitar to 0, it makes noise. So I don't need this stuff. I need an effect that if it's silicone like this, that's a BC183 based transistor are all Texas instrument. And my wife found them. We bought a load quantity, sound great. It's 9-volt power. You can use a battery, and basically I needed a fuzz that is cleaning up brilliantly. The first thing, the cleanup. The second thing, it does make noise wherever I am, on the stage, in a studio, or at home. And later, I don't know, it just that I had so much trouble with fuzz phases, okay? Fuzz, because you can have one that sound great, but as soon you want to try with some other thing, you have that kind of trouble that, wow, what it is? Oh, Jesus, my fuzz phase. Something like this. They were like this. So I had to do that. Had it. Another thing, it was the passing through. When you are using your fuzz phase, okay, you are the only guitarist in the band. Yeah, no problem. But already when you are two guitarists, and both of you are using a fuzz phase, you are not going to pass through.
Yeah,
forget about
absolutely.
it. Or if you are using the fuzz phase and you are the only guitarist, but there you go to keyboards, or you go, I don't know, someone playing something else, so you're not going to pass through. Forget about it, you're going to pass through. So how can I resolve this trouble? So how can I resolve this? And I had it, okay, when I wanted to play Pink Floyd in a band full of instruments. That was orchestra, and there was this solo, and with my fuzz I couldn't pass through, so I needed a buffer. My fuzz phase, but before him, a buffer pedal, a simple buffer, switchable buffer. It sounded me like poof, but my fuzz didn't sound anymore like fuzz, okay, because the sound was so different. So the bass frequency just went out, but I was, like, try to manage them a bit with my amplifier, a bit with my delay. Maybe after the fuzz plays something else, an overdrive, a TS9, or whatever you want. But anyway, I needed the fuzz that is cleaning up. It doesn't have radio frequency problem. It doesn't have noise. And much of all, it doesn't damage my guitar amplifier balance. That's most important to me.
Yeah.
Because as soon as I'm touching the volume, I want my guitar and amplifier. I don't want any more fuzz. That's why I did the Voodoo 67.
Excellent. Well, I've heard I've heard you playing it and stuff, but it sounds absolutely fantastic, I have to say. So
I do effect just for myself. If other people doesn't like it, I don't care it at all, because my effects are basically for myself. Okay, if they are okay, I'm going to sell it.
Yeah.
But if they are okay for me, if they are not, I'm not going to sell them.
Well, I think you've got enough credentials and background you've been there and you've been playing in those kinds of environments to know whether something works or not. So
See, still, okay, I've seen plenty people, any of them had them kind of craziness inside the brain, because maybe I'm a fan of the fudge phase, but out there I met plenty people crazy about the TS9, some of them crazy about the Big Muff, and all the world about them sound it was about the Big Muff. And I hate that. I always did it. I never liked it. Too big. That's my opinion, of course. Okay, I never did, and I always loved the fuzz phase. I'm an Hendrix freak completely, and I love Hendrix because it's a simple setup, but with that setup you can cover everything you want.
Yeah,
with those basic effects you can go wherever you want.
And you've got the Parthenope fuzz as well. Is that correct? The Parthenope? Is that
yes,
right?
I don't have here. You know why?
Sorry?
I don't have it here. You know
That's
why?
okay.
Because I never had time to build one for myself.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
I never had the time. It was a Tom Bender.
All right.
Based. The PCB was designed by Liu Ponies from Don Ponies Effect.
Yeah.
Okay, from Spain. And I asked him to do for me something with old components. He said, Franco, look, I can do everything for you, but let me know which kind of design. I said, feel free to do whatever you wanna, just change things around, do as you wanna. Don't install any transistors because I have plenty of those SFT 352, like they were inside the Digitone in 1960s. And I found them thanks to the father of my wife, so my father-in-law. I had plenty of them, I tested them, they were great transistors. As soon as I did the first unit, came one guy and it was like, wow, later another one, I finished all of them. I finished all of them. And I don't have one for myself. Okay? All of them. Well, but they were big pedals because my wife said, look, don't do again a little pedal like anyone does. Because anyone's relying on those amount enclosure. Those old stuff. Something that is not pedal board friendly. Something that has to go out of it. Okay.
Well, funny enough, we were talking to a builder the other day, and his fuzz enclosures, they're huge. And I just love that. I love big enclosures.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
But the thing is, there seems to be quite of a push to have very small, pedals and things, micro pedals. But for instance, I mean, that is the original foot switch for the orange.
I love it.
I love it. And the foot switches now for the orange amps, they're a fraction of the size, but I prefer that. And I like big chunky pedals. I don't know what it is. It's just.
Look at that.
Oh, they the Univibe enclosures that have come in this week.
Yes.
I saw that they'd come in. So very nice.
There was a big job about that. There are plenty of people saying, but I cannot feed them mine pedal boards. They are too big and this and that. Listen to me. If you want an 9-volt pedal powered, you are never going to have a Univibe. Because anyone makes Univibe 9-volt, 18 volts, so something like that. But an original Univibe, you need a huge stuff for have that sound. okay, or you're never going to shake the hair around you with your amplifier.
Yeah. And you've got a delay as well. You've got the Blue Dope delay.
Yes, the Blue Dope delay is here. There it is. They are both of them connected. Why? I was playing. Any delay I was placing in my pedal board or in my not pedal board, because I never had one, guys. I never had that. I hate them. any delay, all right. When you're switching them on, okay, you can hear that everything you had before. As soon as you're switching on your delay pedal, everything is become tiny. Tiny. And you have the delay effect. I love fast phase sound. So I like that fast phase, like boom, 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 boom. I don't want to delay on the back of it. So I cannot say the name, but this delay, it was more than 250 pounds. I put that in England. I was switching it on. My fudge was like boom, boom, like tiny.
Yeah.
I lost all those frequencies that I love it, but I love the delay. So what is the problem? My fuzz or my delay? The fuzz sound great, but as soon as we on the delay, it doesn't sound great anymore. The problem was the delay. So that's why I did this. Big, chunky, that's a normal enclosure, but I did this for cover that. How I did it, I just messed around with stuff and this, and until the point that as soon as on, I'm not going to lose whatever it is before this. I cannot lose those frequencies, especially with the fuzz pedals. And anyway, other effect later we're going to speak at, because it's all connected by each other, because I'm using all of them.
Yeah, and I take it that delay, it's all analog and everything.
Yes.
Yeah. Very nice, very nice. And you've got some wah pedals, and I have to say, I mean, a lot of your wah pedals are absolutely gorgeous, and you're sort of modifying Vox wahs.
I have no wah pedals. What I do is just have them. Vox and Crybaby. They are both great wah pedals. If you are using them on their own, they are great. But if you want to use them with your fuzz, or I don't know, basically with your fuzz, or you need a true bypass, or this or that, you have to, with other effect, you need to compromise a bit. And that was what I didn't like it, because first of all, I'm using fuzz. And I like my fuzz after the wah pedal.
Yeah, same as me.
Because I'm an Hendrix freak. Okay, so yes, you need to modify them. So I do modify them as I want, or as the client want. Because by change a simple, I don't know, components inside your wah, you can have a different sound. You can tune them differently by just changing a simple resistor. So that's it.
Yeah.
So you are sitting there changing these, try it, and you like these. No, I don't like that. I want these. And
are you changing the buffering on them at all, or changing them from?
That is who like the buffer before, who likes the buffer after, who doesn't like the buffer at all, who doesn't want the buffer and want them as they were before in the 60s. It's all about it's all about the guitarist. It's all about the client. It's all about who is playing that. Because maybe I love them with buffer. You are going to try it. You don't like it. I cannot say, look, you are wrong inside your brain. That's your sound.
Yeah.
That's your sound.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've got the MKF 2019 as well.
That's it.
Oh, nice.
That's the Franco.
Very nice. So what, tell us about that pedal. Looks fantastic.
This pedal. All right. Do you use your amplifier on clean mode?
Yeah, I do.
Did you ever use your amplifier on overdrive?
Yes, I use both.
Did you ever plug overdrive on the top of your amplifier in overdrive mode?
How do you mean, Franco? Sorry.
I mean that, did you ever use your amplifier dirty? As dirty as you can?
Yeah, I have. There's two channels. So
okay.
A channel switch.
Plus a TS on the top of it, a distortion on top of it, two distortion on top of it.
Yeah. I'll sometimes put gain into the dirty channel just to change the EQ or something like that. But then there's a problem with sort of headroom and things like that.
I never used a clean amplifier in my life, never. Because I'm cleaning them up with the volume on my guitar. So if I'm using my dirty amplifier, plus a fuzz, plus something else, I don't know, an overdrive or something else. So I needed something to boost it.
All right.
So instead to have a simple overdrive, I'm using something like this, all right? And with different clipping, because every amplifier I own, it responds differently. And basically, if I wanted to use like I did on the solo time, it was a buffered pedal before two fuzz plus a Marshall on overdrive. It didn't sound right. I needed something like this.
Right.
In those times, this one, it was just a prototype. So it's like I had the Marshall everything on 10 as an equalizer, but I could shape everything on this. And using it instead as a booster, I use it as a bit of clipping for cut some frequencies that with my Stratocaster was making plenty of noises.
Oh, I see. Interesting.
Okay. So you can use it as a booster. You have no clipping. Later you can have asymmetrical clipping, symmetrical, or you can combine them, or basically switch them off. It depends which amplifier you have.
Oh, I see.
And with me, okay, it was plenty of problem. I was living in England, and I don't know, maybe I could grab TV from my neighbors or something, and with my fuzz and this stuff, and they were responding so different. So instead to have an overdrive with the tone, with that basic stuff, I needed something to cut those frequencies.
Yeah.
Okay. On, off, off, on. Depend wherever you are. Basically, this is my pedal that I love it with my SG.
Yeah.
Humbucker, that's whatever I want to.
I'm getting from talking to you. I'm getting a sense of. I mean, yeah. I mean, as you say, definitely your guitar and your amp is first and foremost.
Yes, absolutely.
But you're very much you're designing pedals to just tweak things and improve that connection between the two.
Yes.
And do you change? I mean, I've seen a lot of the videos. I've seen you play sort of Fenders and single coils and Strat type guitars, but you mentioned SG there. So do you play other guitars as well, or?
Yes.
Right. So I mean, that's going to give a different input signal and tonal varieties. And
I don't like at all humbucker guitar straight inside a clean amplifier. I don't like them. While I prefer single coil guitar straight inside an amplifier. But inside the studio, as far as I am a Stratocaster fan, I can say that when you own a Gibson and you are inside the studio, you are never going to leave that Gibson from your end because they are just perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. They are. I don't know how to explain it, but as far you can manage much more to have it the sound you want.
Yeah, it's amazing. I think with Gibsons and Les Pauls and things like that, which was originally designed as a jazz instrument, and it's actually so perfect for rock and things like that. And
yeah, beautiful guitar. The response you have inside the microphones and all this stuff, because when you are in the studio, you have other guys. They are recording you. They are trying to move microphones from your amplifier and all this stuff, and you can hear the sound of your. They are making you hear the sound from your Strat. Okay, yes, that's me. But once you did record with your Gibson, that's you again. Oh, that's me. Is something like
the completely different. Just sound differently, feel differently.
Still, I love my Strat. I love my Strat.
Yeah.
Even if Gibson maybe is much more. I don't know how to explain it. How can I see it?
Well, to be honest with you, I went when I bought my first guitar. I tried a Strat out, and I tried a Les Paul. I thought, well, it's got to be one of the two, So I tried both out, and I decided, right, Strat's the one. I'm going to go for a Strat. So this isn't the first guitar I bought, but this is one. I bought this in 2016, but this is what I was. This is what I was going to go for. But when it was 1996, I saved up my money and I went into the shop to buy something like that. And I left with this completely different guitar. But I left with that.
Wow.
I was just seduced by the shape, the curves.
Wow.
And but the feel of it and the play of it is completely different to that.